Hi, you've just tuned in. Don't forget to subscribe to the RSS with HD, turn on the notification and leave your comments. This is the RSS with HD. Hi, welcome to another edition of the RSS with HD. You're here with me, Rashid and Haresh for a topic that's quite close to both ours, especially my knees. It's a topic that is more concerned with injuries and activities in sports. We'll call it managing sports injuries the more you become active in sports. This is... how do I say it? Whenever somebody gets injured, the first thing they say is like, let's go for a massage, put ice on it, and don't worry about it, it'll go away. It doesn't really work when you're older, but this is something that younger sportsmen usually say, hey, that way it's okay, don't worry about it. Is that something...
In fact, putting ice is good. The problem is that when people go like, just sapu minyak kuda, or don't worry, just go for bekam. Don't worry, just go for a massage, and they think everything will be okay the next day. No, that's not the case. I mean, if we've seen people are getting more active in sports, whether it's for leisure or whether competitive. Now, the problem is that when there is no proper support system, and you rely on your peers or your friends who've not really experienced what you've experienced. So just because you've hurt your knee, as you mentioned earlier, it wouldn't mean that just because I've hurt my knee as well, it would be the same kind of injury. It could be a different thing altogether. Right. What works for you may not work for me. We've got to look at age, we've got to look at the body per se. If you've been playing rugby for your whole life, your injuries would be different compared to someone, example like me, if I just
chess.
Okay, or opposite face chess, Rashid's other favorite sport.
Yeah, it's actually a good sport. Yeah. Just don't play as well these days.
Yeah,
no one to play with because no one plays chess these days. Anyway, so it's a $1 billion sport. A lot more people now play sports all over the world.
True, and thanks for highlighting the $1 billion bit, because Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris Professor Dr. Muhammad Amin Muhammad Taf had, during his talk recently at the 2020 Realities and Challenges of Outdoor Recreation in Malaysia, had actually valued the sporting industry in this country in 2018 itself at 4 billion. So that's 4 billion ringgit. So that's a whole lot of money. Now, the sports industry is thriving. Even, in fact, starting this earlier part of the year, people were saying that it's the economy is bad, and with the political uncertainty and global recession as well, things would not look good. Yet, we've seen quite a number of brands coming in to sponsor sports associations.
Yes, there's quite a resurgence of brands and companies coming into, because I think they realize that the sports industry has a lot of reach, and there's a lot of numbers out there and a lot of eyeballs, as we call it in advertising. There are a lot of eyeballs that are watching sports, because it's something that doesn't have to, you don't have to think so much, and it's either yes or no. You look at football and the amount of sponsorship football gets. Irrespective of how the Malaysian football national team does, they will always get sponsors coming in, because they know that sport, whether we're doing well or not, there'll be a lot of people watching it. However, on the flip side, when managing sportsmen, managing athletes, that's where we become, it's a danger in that, because we have seen elite athletes who have potential, who have potential to do well, but not manage well because of the injuries they go through. Now, obviously, sports science has grown in leaps and bounds over the years. We've got a lot of sports science students, a lot of coaches who are very well versed in sports science, but is it enough at the moment? Because at the elite level, yes, certain sports are getting that kind of sports science
The support.
support. But generally,
Yeah.
is that happening moving up from grassroots?
So here's the thing. The National Sports Institute has started a private wing, whereby the masses, the average Joe and Jane, you and me, can just walk in and get an appointment, and we can receive consultation by the same guys who actually work on our national athletes. And Dr. Ramlan Aziz, the former National Sports Institute CEO,
Oh, yes.
DG, he in fact informed me recently during a chat that he's seen quite a number of people walking in ever since the center was open in mid last year, and his youngest patient is actually a 10-year-old.
Oh,
Yeah. And this reminded me of a story at 2213 Road about ACL injuries among 16-year-old footballers who were part of the Academy Muqtadari, AMD. Now, they are all dropping because of ACL injuries. At that age, it's shocking. So, but are we trying to say that sports is bad, dangerous, and therefore sit at home and play video games? No, we're not trying to say that. But what we're trying to say is that we need to manage, to educate ourselves and also our children, so that they understand that when it comes to a tedious or a strenuous activity, do the right steps to ensure that you minimize the injuries and the pains.
well, rugby has been proactive in that sense in managing this kind of because we know as you get older, from a certain age, from a young age up until probably 9 years old, there's very much less contact or tackling in rugby. As they get older, we've noticed over the years the way that we manage, or the coaches, or the law has managed injuries has changed, so that by the time you get to elite level, or at least adult level, the laws have changed in how people are being tackled, how they, the head management, if anyone gets a concussion, all that is now taken into consideration. So when you do get injured, for example, if someone gets injured and gets a concussion, they're off for 2 weeks. Nothing, whereas in the past it was 1 week, you can go back and go back to training. Now it's 2 weeks, but there's slight training after that, and then they'll slowly ease you into it. But that's only one sport. There are many sports that still need to be addressed, and as you say, football, you've got these 16-year-olds. Is it the pitch? Is it the way they train? Is it the facilities? All that needs to be looked at, and I suppose sports science has a crucial part in doing that, because we don't want to have all these really good athletes who could be, or sportsmen who could go far, fall by the wayside.
So, speaking about football and football at a younger age, pitch could be one of the problems, but there's also the pressure to play constantly, to perform constantly every single week. Now they're young, they can't be pushed. They've got to be pushed in a certain way, not in that manner, to which suddenly they come back with injuries. That's one. Number two, the Football Association in England has actually banned heading in youth football. So this is something that the FA of Malaysia should also explore, because studies have shown that those who constantly hit balls over a period of years, they will likely to suffer head injuries, including dementia. So things like this, I mean, we should take cue. If research paper shows that it proves that certain thing, I know certain people will go like, no, during our time the balls were heavier, and we used to hit our head.
The boots were heavy.
The boots were heavy. We used to,
someone in the face.
Nothing happened. I think that they are suffering some form of damage as well, because they keep harping over the same thing over and over. So anyway.
But youth amateur youth MMA has been proactive. Now there's this misconception about MMA being such a violent sport. Because it was started off as a professional sport. So there's this perception that you get hit a lot in the head. But youth MMA up until 16 or 17, I can't remember what it was, 16. there are no strikes to the head.
Yes, true.
So there are only body shots, and even certain kicks aren't allowed. No, no joint manipulation, of course, because it's amateur. But they do not allow a child up to or teen up to 16 or even 17 to do headshots.
Yeah.
So that is already something that MMA is doing from amateur side. However, you do have things like boxing, Muay Thai, where do you draw the line? Because we don't want to discourage people from taking up the sport, but we also need to look after our young adults as well.
Yes. Not only young adults. I mean, to actually protect and to actually speak about the well-being of everyone who's who they are eager to pick up sports. Now, the reason why I think this topic is so relevant is because, especially so after when we had the Fight for Change, whereby I participated in it, and during training I realized that when you do grappling, finger injuries are so common. Yeah,
fingers, ears.
Mine were fingers, you see. And when I learned a little bit of Muay Thai, I realized my peers who suffered injuries, and there were those who go like, hey, don't worry, it's common, it's normal. But the thing is that when I asked them, I said, don't you get yourself checked? Because I did, and I addressed the problem, and immediately after I was back on the mat or in the gym. You see, so what I'm trying to say is that if you get proper consultation and you address the problem, you get repaired faster, literally. Yeah, and you're back, playing the sport. And it is not expensive as what many people think. When they see a physiotherapist center, they go like, it's a money-making scheme. It's not. It doesn't work and so forth and so on. No, in fact, it's sometimes at times cheaper than going for a full body massage.
Well, actually. Yeah. It depends on which
facility. Yes, okay. That's another question.
I think that's another topic we'll probably touch on in one of our RSS with HD shows, because it is it's becoming a big business as well.
Yeah.
But again, that will definitely be a topic that we will be talking about, because physiotherapy, after sports management, the actual management of injuries is very big business as well.
Yeah.
But on that note, I suppose whenever you do get next time you get into a fight, have a fight with me, then we'll see what kind of injuries that you will get later.
You're like 10 years elder, so older. I don't want to be seen as bullying someone who's older than me, so
we'll see about that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching RSS with HD. You see, thank you to Amnig for our clothing, also MKCC for this lovely venue. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, as well as turn on the notification to get the latest shows and updates. And do please write your comments down below on our channel as well. You have been watching the RSS with HD.